Hey guys, it's your boy 14 Fluffies here, bringing you a duel between me and Master Genderflex. He PM'd me saying that he had a deck idea he wanted to test out, and I said sure, why not, because I'm also testing a deck out in this video. It's Volcanics, if you guys couldn't tell by the Blade's Accelerator, so I opened up pretty terrible. I'm gonna go double Upstart Goblin, and then just draw two cards I don't need. To draw Instant Fusion and Bottomless, two cards that don't really help me right now, so I just set 3 and pass. Yeah, and he's playing a very interesting build. He's actually playing Infernity PePe, post-adjusted ban list. So he opens up with the one of Joker, which is amazing, hilarious, but I have no response for that. I check my extra just to see what answers I may have for next turn, depending on what I draw into. And he searches out his Sorcerer. And well, actually, he searches out his monkey board, which he will then search Sorcerer with. Or not. Actually, no, he doesn't. He actually puts the Sorcerer back. But he does search out the monkey board, and then he's activating it, and he's going to get the search from monkey board. And there he puts the Sorcerer back because he doesn't want it. And there I just check and see cards in hand because, Exiton's totally legal, Kappa. And then he searches out his Gi Turtle, probably just to set up a scale. And then he activates his Gi Turtle, and then he's going to and then he activates Foolish Burial, and I'd imagine this is probably, for Eris to add his Archfiend. And then he's pretty sure he's just going to pen 4, set 1, pen 4. So he had a really good hand, but then again, I had Strike just to, as an answer. So he just swings for 18 and passes. And then it's just like, okay, yeah, flip Launcher, please. And it's just like, he had Draco Face-Off. And that Draco Face-Off is actually really dead. And so this draw is actually pretty decent. I actually draw in the Scattershot. And as you can see, I'm like, finally, I find this Accelerator is actually live now. So I just immediately just pitch the Scattershot just to get my draw on. And to deck then as well. But then I get the card I don't ever want to draw, fucking Garnet. Damn it, Brian, why you do this? I know you're banned on DN, but I don't appreciate the stacking in Spirit, bruh. Seriously. So yeah, I just send the other 2 Scattershots at this point. And then I just normal summon Garnet and poke. And then you see, yeah, just best draw NA. It really just is. And then main phase 2, I just go Instant Fusion for Norden, just so I can, put some of those Scattershots back into my deck, just so I can get reload back in live. And there we go. There's the Emerald. I detach the Garnet. I put back the Garnet and 2 Scattershots just so I can get my Brilliant Fusions live. So yeah, and hopefully draw into them. But no, draw Garnet again. Damn it, Brian! Why you do this? And then I just show him that I drew Garnet, because that's just how life is, really. Why? And then his turn rolls over. I'm just like, yeah, and he draws into Grepher, and then he just pendulums out the Joker, and he tries to go for rank 4 XC to try and get over the Emerald. But of course I have the Bottomless to respond to it, so yeah, and that's game 1. He just scoops to that because, he's playing Infernities and he's already gone through his 1 Archfiend. The only things he could top deck are Soul Charge and Launcher, and that's about it. So this hand, so he's going first this time. This hand's a very good hand, as you can see. I have the Shell to pitch for Twin Twisters. I also have the Rocket to get Accelerator, plus an Upstart and Masked Chameleon for a follow-up place if other plays go wrong, just because Shell has 0 defense and Scattershot also has 0 defense. But see, yeah, he goes Draco Face-Off, and then he also has his monkey board, so he adds Gi Turtle off, it adds Draw Lizard off of monkey board, and then I end up giving him Vector off of the Face-Off, and then he just pens 4, then he pens 3, my bad, and then he uses Draw Lizard's effect, and then draws into Eris. At this point, yeah, you can already see me typing it into the chat. Yeah, he's just going to immediately go and Direwolf his Eris, just so he can get his Archfiend. And then he normal summon, and then he banishes Street Patrol to summon out the Archfiend, and then of course he just goes get Launcher, and then he goes into Bujinte Amaterasu, detaches the Archfiend, specials the Street Patrol, and then burns the Launcher. It gets back the Archfiend and the Defender, I believe. Yeah, I believe that's Infernity Defender, and then of course Archfiend will trigger again. I believe he searches out Necromancer. Yeah, he searches out Necromancer, and I was thinking he was going to be adding Barrier, but no, he was going to add Necromancer. He's going to go into another rank 4XC. I'm not too sure what he goes into, actually. I don't remember off the top of my head. So, let's see. What did he go into? He takes a while to think about it, though. So yeah, this hand is actually pretty decent if I can draw into Scattershot to answer that big field. I mean, the reason why I'm playing Masked Chameleon is just because, I can go into rank 5 or level 5 and level 6 synchro plays with the by using Shell and Scattershot and Grave. But yeah, that's here or there, but he's still going off because of his Infernaries, and he ends off with Amaterasu, a Castel, and a fucking giant hand, which makes my rocket very sad. So you see I drew into a strike, which would have been good if I went first. But yeah, I get my draw from Upstart. I draw into a second Upstart. But here, instead of actually activating the Upstart, I just... Yeah, because as you can see, in before draw Garnet. So I just used the Twin Twisters, pop the back row, pitch my Shell, pop that. It was a time space, which is something I really didn't... Which is something I don't really care about in Volcanics. And then I just use Shell, and then I search out another Shell. And as you guys see, if I would activate that second Upstart, I would have drew another Shell, which would just be so horrible. Opening double Shell sucks. But yeah, what sucks harder is the fact that that giant hand is there. Well, actually not now that I have a second rocket, which is fine, because I could bait out the giant hand and then have a second rocket for next turn. But yeah, I put a turn behind basically because of that giant hand, and with a field like that, I'm kind of put in a really, really bad position. So all I can do is just set strike and pass, really, because, Rocket can't get over any of those monsters. I mean, I'm just in an overall really bad position, not being able to get to my reload. And, yeah, this is where you can see them. This is probably... Yeah, this is a sweep for him. This is going to be super simple. Just because he has such a loaded field. He dumps his Avenger into the graveyard just, he drops his Avenger into the graveyard so he could, set it for further plays, so he can get his Archfiend back from graveyard, like if I run over the, Necromancer and stuff. And then, of course, he just ends his turn after just attacking with everything. I drew into Scattershot, which is actually something that will, of course, bail me out if I can get to my fucking reload. Please. But at least Giant Hand's been baited. So, yeah. Now I can get my reload, I can make plays. First off, I'm definitely going to attack over that Stygian Street Patrol, just because there's no reason not to, really. It's just one less monster on the field that they have to work with. So I swing over it, I just pass, and then I just pass. After just thinking about what my plays would be. But obviously, it's just going to be, just drop the scatter shot and then just nuke his field. So, yep, that's exactly what I drew. I draw to another reload, which isn't that great necessarily, but it's alright. I mean, if I draw into a Twin Twisters, that would be excellent, but, that's neither here nor there. I draw into Instant Fusion, which isn't bad, but of course, I just start off with reload. I pitch the Shell, draw a second Masked Chameleon. That wasn't the best draw, I'm just going to be honest, but still. I got my other Shell. Next card, yeah. Damn it, Yuchi, why do you stack my deck? Why do you always put Shells on top of why you always give me Garnet? That Masked Chameleon should have been a Firestorm Guards, oh well. Now here you see I actually do summon my Masked Chameleon, and then I'm going to get my Scattershot out from Graveyard, so I can go into a level 6 Synchro. Or, yeah, I was thinking about maybe getting Shell, but I got Scattershot instead, just because Red Wyvern would be much more useful in this situation than Armatis. And also, Scattershot would trigger, so you would also take 500 because of Scattershot being used as a Synchro material. And then I just poke with both monsters and pass. And at this point, I'm in a very good situation, but of course, I'm playing against Infernity. There's a million different things they could top deck to just go off and win. Well, yeah, and that's one of those cards. Like, that's not Soul Charge, but it's just about the same thing. So yeah, Mirage, he's going to get back his Necromancer and his Archfiend. Archfiend's going to go off. I was thinking about striking Archfiend, but I was debating it, really. I don't know if I wanted to strike Archfiend or not. He just gets another Necromancer. So yeah, I really more or less wanted to save it for stuff that would threaten me. And here you see on the activation of Necromancer, I chain reload so I could draw. But then he goes into level 8 Synchro, and I'm going to definitely strike Thousand Eyes, just because I don't want to deal with that shit, no. And then he activates his second Necromancer, he gets his Archfiend back, which there's that at least. So yeah, he still has plays, he adds his Barrier, and then he reveals Draco Face-Off, and then he activates it. And then it's just like, yeah, I was looking away, so I didn't see that he actually grabbed Barrier, I just needed to confirm that real quick. And then yeah, Luster and Vector, heads Vector, and yeah, I gave him Luster. I didn't necessarily know if he wanted to do anything with Luster. Yeah, he just put it in his Pendulum Zone, so yeah, there's that. And I believe he just passes. Yeah, he just passes after that. And I drew into Summoner Monk, which isn't really the best draw. I mean, before I threw in the one Summoner Monk, I was playing a Thunder King Ryo, but at this point, like, what the hell is TK gonna do? I mean, so yeah, I just attack into Archfiend so that I can kill his Barrier. And then I use Red Wyvern and just attack into the Necromancer. But of course, because Avenger's in the graveyard, he can just special summon it, and he puts it in attack mode so that his Barrier is live, of course. Main phase 2, I summon the Monk, and it switches to defense mode. I don't bother activating its effect, I just overlay for, I believe, Daigusto Emerald? Oh no, for Castel, just so I can bait out the Barrier. So see, I have Instant Fusion in hand, so that way I could bait out the Barrier with Castel, and then just use Instant Fusion to go for Daigusto Emerald to put resources back into the deck, which is what I do. Because he could top deck anything, and I need to be prepared. And I believe I put back the Scatter Shots, oh wait, I put back the Monk. No, that was the Monk with Norden. I'm ahead of myself, my bad. But yeah, I do go for Daigusto Emerald here. And I believe I do, in fact, put back the Scatter Shots. I mean, I kind of wanted to put back the Shells. I wanted to put back everything, really, but oh well. I mean, if I could draw into a Firestorm Guards and still be able to normal summon it somehow, that would be great. Yeah, I just put back the Scatter Shots just to make them all live. And then I draw into Firestorm Guards, which is the card I kind of wanted. But yeah, I have my normal summon for next turn, so I have my way of just recouping and just going plus. So yeah, I have my, and then he top decks Soul Charge like a fucking boss. Like, he must have been an Infernity player in past formats, because he is piloting like a beast and just getting the best top decks ever. Like the Infernity aspect of his deck is putting in much more work than his PePe aspect. So yeah, like, Infernities are, like, even Infernities with one Archfiend and one Barrier is better than PePe now, which is hilarious. So he goes in for his Diamond Direwolf. I believe he is going to pop my back row, which is a dead time space. I mean, I have 800 left, so I can't really do anything with them. At this point, yeah, because I'm at 800, I'm honestly afraid of Cowboy. But I don't believe he actually goes for Cowboy, since he doesn't have the means to go into Cowboy. So yeah, he can see, he searched out his double break. He goes in for Leviair. And it's just like, okay, yeah, now he's going to make Cowboy, because he's just going to get his Street Patrol back, and then, yeah, that's going to be GG. But instead, I believe he goes for something else. I can't remember, but we'll see. I think it was Castel or 101. Oh, he went into Rafflesia. Yeah. But it's just like, yeah, I don't really care about Rafflesia. And I don't really care, because Scattershot does not give a fuck. So he immediately breaks the Daigusto Emerald, which I honestly don't care about, really. If you would have, really, he has double break set, so he could technically break the, the Red Wyvern, but I summon out Firestorm Guards. He immediately burns the Rafflesia on it, and he sends Bottomless. which doesn't stop Firestorm from going off. So you see, I just put everything back. I put back all 3 shells, and a rocket. Really, what I should have done is put back 2 shells and both rockets. But yeah, as you see, I put them in my hand as opposed to back in my deck, which is awkward as fuck. So yeah, I just revealed them like a good sport and then put them back. And either way, it's not like I'd want double shell in my hand anyway, so that works out regardless. So yeah, I draw 2 from Firestorm Guards, and then I draw into Garnet and Shell. Yeah, draw Shell. Yuchi, Y, and then you see I draw into Twin Twisters. So yeah, actually this is actually what gets me game, just because I pitch the Garnet, hit the break, he chains the break, and then yeah, I don't care because I'm also popping my other reload. Because I'm popping my reload, and that way I can use my reload from grave and then just burn him for game with Scattershot. So yeah, so that was game versus Brilliant Volcanics and PePe Infernity. I did not see Brilliant Fusion once, even though I played 3 copies of it, which is retarded. Even though I drew Garnet 3 times, you know, it's cool. And you can see here, not a single fucking Brilliant Fusion. And it's just like, yeah, right there. Right there. Why would you need Brilliant when you have Garnet? Pretty much. And Shell. Don't forget Shell, right? So yeah, that's game, and I'll see you guys in the